Alrighty guys, hopping in for another Dragon Ball Legends PvE event guide. So the guide that we're going to go ahead and be hopping into today is the Zamasu event, right? The Almighty Immortal God. So for this video, we're actually going to go ahead and be just covering battles 50 and 51 because those are typically the most difficult throughout the event, right? Those are the final, that's where you get your crystals, that's where the challenge battle is at, all that good stuff, right? So just keep in mind that there is going to be some timestamps in the description below. That way you guys can get to where you need to get to quick and easy, right? So you guys can just go ahead and just go to wherever you want. Whether you need Battle 50, whether you need information on Battle 51, whether you need my strategy on how to cheese the AI, right? So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Kind of just make this more of a quick, a little short and sweet video. We're going to go ahead and be going over the strat for cheesing the AI. Alrighty guys, I actually had to go ahead and make a cut right there, kind of goofed a little bit. So we're gonna go, back to business. So cheesing the AI. So this is gonna be, go ahead and be my method on how to cheese the AI. It doesn't really matter what characters we use here, right? So we're just gonna go ahead and be hopping into it. I go over this in every kind of guide that I make in these kind of PvE events, right? So what we do here is we're gonna go ahead and fish for a perfect vanish here for a little bit. And even if you don't get the perfect vanish, I tend to always just go with Blast Art first because I feel like they're a little bit more slow on going for the Blast Arts or for perfect vanishing you, right? So instead of going immediately, because I want to get my vanish back, you see that my vanish is slowly going up, and you can kind of just abuse this aspect right here, where I'm kind of just doing all this extra stuff, right? So I got my vanish back now. I can transform. It's a great way to kill time, great way to get your allies back in the game, or just stalling in general. And so now, also, this is the other method right here, where instead of moving upwards and getting my vanish back, I'm just charging up ki. That way I can just keep going, almost like an infinite combo. Not infinite, right? But it's pretty darn close. Because look, I'm just kind of just farming everything up. Sometimes you do mess up though. Like right there, I messed up. But look, we'll go ahead and showcase me getting my vanish gauge back. Look at that. So he's kind of just frame trapped a little bit here. So I'm dropping combos. So you have to understand that I'm constantly dropping combo. And then look at it. So vanish is back already. All my allies are already back in. I can go ahead and just do whatever I want now. And so we'll show that again. So I'm going to go ahead and just try to get my vanish back yet again. So instead of chaining my cards together, I'm just pressing one and then slightly moving up. Right? And so now vanish is, once again, it's back. Alright, and so like I said, the alternative is you can just stay back, drop combo, charge up, and then you're going to consistently draw cards, right? So it's really good. It's like a huge boon in terms of these kind of events, especially because like I said, these events tend to be on the harder side, right? Especially if you don't have the right units. So it's, in my opinion, it's just do whatever you can to make it easier, right? Why choose the difficult route? I mean, there is going to be some people, I can definitely understand that, where some people are just I do want that challenge, I want to go for that kind of challengey aspect, and that's understandable too, that's respectable. But this is just to make your guys' lives easier. So we're going to go ahead and hop into Battle 50 now. Or go into team building for Battle 50. Alrighty guys, so here we are with Battle 50. So it's against Merge Zamasu, right? He is red type, he is yellow typing, so you're going to have the advantage with red typing. So we're going to go ahead and go and look at the Battle Bonus characters. As per usual, I'm not really going to use any of the new units, right? Because it's not exactly realistic to have these new units, for everyone at least. I mean, I know some people are gonna have them for sure, but look at this. Vegeto's one of the boost units, right? And he's an LF, and I know there's a lot of people out there that don't have Vegito. These new units too, right here. This Goku and this Vegeta that also have the damage boost. I think this was a mistake on their part. In all honesty, I really think that they should have made the anniversary units boost units as well, because this banner came out right after the anniversary, or right after even the Super Saiyan Kaioken Goku, right? And the Pikkon. And I just feel like if you had stones at that point, you were just way better off just throwing them into the anniversary banners, right? So I don't know why that these guys would be boost units over the anniversary units, right? So what I typically do is I do like to just go down here and kind of just see what unit is more realistic for people to have. So this Zamasu would have been a good option as well. But even older than him and with a better damage boost, right, is this Trunks right here. This Trunks is so old, but he gets 150%, right? And he just got that Zenkai recently, so if you did happen to Zenkai him, he's going to be really good on this. So he's very accessible. This is going to go ahead and be the team that we're using for them. So if you look at his stats right here, without Zenkai, I'm not too informed on his Zenkai stats, but he does lean a little bit towards more strike attack, right? And so I'm going to go ahead and throw him on a hybrid Saiyan team. So we're going to use this guy to kind of boost him up a little bit, this purple Trunks right here, because he does give a buff to hybrid Saiyans, right? He is pretty good. He is at a type disadvantage, unfortunately, but I'm kind of just using him to just buff up this guy as much as I can, this red one, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and just bring in this yellow Gohan just in case he does end up pulling out a Rising Rush or something like that, or I get an opportunity. I'm going to just try to let him die, right? So this guy, he's just more than willing to die. He does give those death buffs. He gives a very substantial buff to everyone when he dies. So it's like really beneficial when he dies, and it's just, he's just like a really great unit in that aspect, right? If you really want to just buff up those damage numbers a lot. And then we're going to go ahead and bring this guy solely for his main ability, which is base strike attack, 30% to it, in fact. So pretty good, right? I'm sure there's better, like this can be a lot more optimal, right? But this is just what I got. This is kind of just what I worked with, kind of just threw together real quick. You kind of just want to focus on, for me anyways, how I like to think of it is I kind of just focus on one unit and kind of just buff them up the best that I can. So this guy, he has 32% to base strike attack to future as well. So that's 230s on strike attack, a little bit lacking in defense, I know. But luckily with the little glitch that we kind of abused, the little cheese strat, it kind of like evens it out a little bit. And so this guy, he's going to go ahead and be providing 24% boost to base strike attack and base critical. So again, another really good Z ability. Unfortunately, he is really bad, right? This Trunks right here. He could really use his Zenkai as well. And so we'll go ahead and take a look at the equips on the top 3 because that's who we're going to be using. So he has this Awakened equip right here. I think it buffs up strike. Yep, so plus 4% to strike per future member. And the top 3 that I'm going to go ahead and be bringing are future. And then this one right here, I hate that little minus right here, the minus 1.15% to blast defense. But that's okay. It's going to go ahead and he's still going to get a whopping 15% base strike attack off of that. And then he has this Awakened hybrid equipment right here, which is 6% per hybrid Saiyan battle member on the team. And again, they're all hybrids too. So this guy, he's going to go ahead and add some strike-oriented equipments. This guy's kind of just having some yellow-oriented equipments and so on, right? So that's who we're going to be running for this one. Let's go ahead and hop right into it and see what we can do here. All right, so I do like starting off with this purple Trunks, right? Like I said, I just like to boost him a little bit. Kind of just going for this perfect vanish. Unfortunately, I do not have a blast card in hand. So like I said, I like to normally just go for the blast card right here because they tend to not really perfect vanish you on the blast. But again, not every time, right? It's not like a perfected science, right? Let's see. So I kind of just go ahead and lay on the damage here. I'm going to go ahead and get my vanish back now. So I'm going to move up a little bit. Move up a little bit. Consistently drop comboing, right? Move up a little bit. Okay. Move up. And see, at this point, it's like kind of hard. This works a lot better with people that have a lot of, what's it called? A lot of like card draw speed, a lot of like stuff like that aspect. A lot of people that can just constantly keep regaining ki. Right, so we're going to go ahead and swap right there. So we can just take all the damage with this guy. Hopefully this kills. Yeah, so perfect. It killed. We're good. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and do this. And just keep on laying on the damage here. So we do have all those death buffs now. Kind of just doing my thing right here. A little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and just swap into my red Trunks right here. I'm going to go ahead and just pop the green card. And then we do have all the death buffs going on for us right here. And we can just tap him out of this blast attack real quick. And then we'll just go ahead and use our blast attack. And then this should pretty much be his first life right here. Then I'm just going to go ahead and pop the main ability to see if he's doing anything. And if he is, then I can just go ahead and just hop into the Rising Rush. And that just might kill him outright. I think I'm a little late on this. That's really unfortunate.
But anywho.
Yeah, that's really bad. So ideally, you don't want to miss that. So we're going to go ahead and actually have to swap here. So last stand unit, right? So we got to see what we can do here. Let's see. Kind of just wait for him to do something again, right? And then we're going to have to go ahead and abuse that glitch, right? Constantly just drop combo. Kind of just cheese him a little bit, go up a little bit. And then Vanish is already back, right? So it's all up to Trunks right here. Kind of just doing a thing. Alright, really substantial amount of damage there, right? And he's going to go ahead and reduce our ki. The Zamasu is really annoying in that aspect, right? He always does that. Okay, so at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and just do the... Instead of getting my Vanish back, I'm just going to go ahead and go for it. So this is going to go ahead and result in a clash right here. You have to win this. Okay, there we go. So that's going to be pretty much it. So if you look at the top left, the timer count that we ended at was 97, and I think it starts off at 180. And so we'll see the challenges right here, and so we'll see if we met the requirements or not. But I'm fairly confident though that if we would have landed that Rising Rush, that would have been a lot easier. So the ultimate challenge is to clear within 100 timer counts, and so you start off with 180, and what did we end with? I think I said 97, I believe, right? So you had to basically, to meet all these requirements right here, you had to beat it within 80. Like once that timer hit 80 timer counts, that's it, right? That's the like basically what you had to meet. That's the requirements right there to get all these done right here. And so we pretty much did that. We ended at 97. We did pretty good actually. So that being said, it's not too difficult, right? Battle 50 is never that too difficult. It's Battle 51 that's just the headache. So we're gonna go ahead and make a cut right here, and then we'll hop back in, and I'll go ahead and show you guys my team building and thought process for the next battle. So let's go ahead and we'll be right back. Alrighty guys, so we're back with Battle 51. So for this one, I know a lot of people are really kind of just, I'm going to go ahead and recommend a couple teams here. So I believe Future is probably, I feel like Future was the easiest for me, right? Because you always want to get your color counters, right? So you want a blue unit, you want a red unit, you want a purple unit. It just says, it basically gives you that right there. It says, bring these units, right? It's going to be the best way to do it. There, unfortunately, is no boost units on this one. So if you don't have the boost units on the others, like it doesn't matter when it comes to this one, to Battle 51, right? This is the challenge battle, essentially. And so it's a lot more difficult. They do a lot of damage. It's almost like type advantage doesn't matter when they're attacking you, right? It's very annoying. So I think the first time I did this round to do the challenge, clear within 160 counts, I did it with my Future team. So I was fortunate enough to pull the Vegito. I do have a pretty beefed up Rose. I have a pretty beefed up Merge Zamasu, right? So it wasn't too difficult for me. I think I did it like in my third attempt or so. It wasn't too bad. But I know there's a lot of people out there that are like, well, dude, like, I don't have those units. Like, this is like not realistic for me to do. And it can be very difficult for people that don't have the right units, right? But again, on the flip side, it can be very easy for people that do have the right units. So the team that we're actually going to go ahead and be using for this is a yellow-blue team. So if you guys saw the last video that I made, like around for the PvE guide, I think it was for the Otherworld Showdown, right? The Pikkon and Super Saiyan Kaioken Goku event. I actually went ahead and used this exact same team, a little bit different though. So the lineup is going to be the Zenkai 7 Legends Road Goku, the Zenkai 7 Legends Road Trunks, and this Future Gohan right here. So again, like I said, I really like this unit a lot. He provides a lot of good stuff, especially with death buffs, and he works really well with this Trunks right here. So saying that, so that's our main lineup right there. We got EX Broly to buff up. I think he buffs up yellow and blue, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yep, or just yellow. That's okay. Not too big of a deal, but Hit does buff up blue and yellow, right? With his Z ability. And the thing is, with this one's kind of like, this Goku right here, he does not buff up yellow and blue, but his Z ability is a little bit different. It's a little bit unique. So it's 30% to element blue or tag Sun Family. Base strike attack and defense, which is pretty good. It's actually really good, especially for Sun Family. And so that's the thing that's why it really works with this, because Trunks is blue, so he's going to go ahead and be getting that buff. And then Goku's obviously Sun Family, and Gohan is Sun Family as well. So these two, this guy right here and this guy right here, they're both I can't speak. They're both going to go ahead and be getting that bonus as well. So they're going to be pretty beefed out as well. Another good team for this would probably be Fusions, right? Especially if you have, again, if you have Vegito Blue. You can just, if you have the red Gotenks or even the new EX Gogeta, you would have access to a lot of, especially the Super Vegito, but it feels like, you can already tell where I'm going with this. The Future and Fusion tags, they both kind of like premium tags, right? Like they both have like LFs in their core. Fusions has both of the Vegetos, and then Future has the Vegeta, right? The LF Vegeta and then the LF Vegito, and it can very much so feel like it's pandering a lot more to people that are just spending money on the game or people that just got extremely lucky. And that's why I really like this team a lot, because this team that I'm going to be using right here, this yellow blue team, is very accessible, right? So you do have these 2 free Zenkai 7 units that are fantastic. And then the yellow Gohan, he's been around for such a long time. He's even in one of the master packs, I believe, where it's like, it's realistic of you to get him. When it comes to the bench, it's a little bit more iffy. With the bench, because honestly, I could have a better yellow blue team, right? I could have a better bench for this, but this is just kind of just working with what I got. But there is a lot of options right here. I think if you do have this Broly, I think if you do have him like at a 5-star, 6 stars, he does end up buffing blue. Yep. So at 6 stars, he does buff both of the elements, which would be ideal for this. But unfortunately, I just haven't pumped in enough Z power into him, or haven't pulled enough copies into him. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and hop into it and see how the yellow blue team does against this. Alrighty, so I do like starting off with this Kid Goku right here, just because of the fact that he does end up, he gives that slight little buff right there, right at the jump, right? And he also gives Ki on switch out. So it's pretty nice. And then you also have to keep in mind that this Trunks, every time he's landing something, he's buffing up everyone else. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and back out right here. Kind of just fishing for that perfect vanish, right? I'm going to go ahead and transform, actually. I'm going to go ahead and swap. I'm going to just do this. And then it's also good to, really, this strategy really works well, too, because you drop combo a lot. And if you notice, like right there, if I wouldn't have drop comboed, he would have interrupted my combo, because that red Goku and the merged Zamasu, they both have, the cover, like the kind of like little rescue thing going on. Right, where it's like, if they come in on a strike card while you're doing a strike card, they'll go ahead and just like stop your combo wholeheartedly, right? Alright, I think this is a good time for this guy to die right here. So we're just gonna go ahead and actually we'll get rid of this guy's buffs. They can be, or I meant to sidestep there, but oh well, it is what it is. So we're gonna go ahead and be getting those death buffs a little bit early here. That might not be the wisest decision that I've made. I'm not gonna lie, because now we really have to just really pile on the damage here. See, drop combo again right there. Really good. And I'm actually going to go ahead and just do this. Look at the damage we're doing. We're going to go ahead and just try to take someone out here. I'm going to go ahead and pop both of these, and then go ahead and go for a Rising Rush. Look at the damage we're doing. Okay, so if this goes through, this Goku's most likely dead. For the most part, though, I think the biggest issue is the merged Zamasu. So it might be wise if you're watching this video and you're paying attention to what I'm doing, you might want to save that Rising Rush for the Zamasu, right? Because this guy, he wasn't that hard to like kill, right? So again, I'm kind of just killing time here. Right? I don't even care about getting my Vanish back. I just want to kill time so I can get this Goku back in. And then he has that increased card draw speed, which is really good. And honestly, that's another thing I wanted to talk about, is that Gohan, when he dies, he gives you like a little buff to your card draw speed, I believe. I could be wrong though. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So it's like really good. Like, look at the damage we're doing. And it's like we're down a unit, right? And we're just collecting Dragon Balls as well. So we're gonna go ahead and do this, and then Zamasu's already like what, at 2 health bars, I believe. So the red Goku's already dead, so not too much to worry about. That's something to worry about. Okay, we're okay. Okay, now we can bring in this guy, because the Zamasu is out, right? And I need to just make sure that I'm killing time here. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep doing this, laying on all this stuff right here, all this damage, right? And then kind of just look, if you pay attention to my Goku's timer count in the bottom left right there, you can see that I'm kind of just making sure that I'm having enough resources to bring him back in whenever need be. And I do have another Rising Rush here. I'm actually going to go ahead and just use it. Actually, I didn't really need to. I could have honestly saved it. But so this is going to go through. That's another thing about this, is that when he dies, since we are getting that upgraded card draw speed, we're going to be able to get our Dragon Balls a lot quicker than usual. Especially with the kind of strat that we're using right here, since we're just constantly pulling cards and constantly drop comboing, constantly just kind of like frame trapping a little bit. So everything's pretty good here. We pretty much have this wrapped up. Like, this is just in the bag right here. Okay. Let's see. I can kind of just be a little reckless here now. Be a little bit impatient if I want to. Let's see. Okay, so he's actually going to destroy my cards right there, which is pretty annoying. Okay. And that should be it right there. So you see in the top left corner, we finished it at exactly 80 counts. I think you get 200 on this one. On this, I could be wrong. I'm going to go back and look. But I'm pretty sure it's 200. And then the challenge is, we'll see right here. Let's see. Clear within 160. So they actually give you a lot of leeway on this. So if you do get 200 counts, you have to beat that event, that little challenge within 40 timer counts. And we beat it in 80. So we doubled it. We did really good. And that was all a result of the yellow, yellow, blue, right? Because like I said, they are Goku and the Trunks. They're hard hitters, and then on top of them being like able to use that buff, the Gohan buff, the death buffs, right? You're able to just kind of just do insane amounts of damage that you just normally wouldn't be able to without him, right? I mean, because don't get me wrong, they're already good as is, but just having that death buff and then just being able to just do all that craziness is just extremely helpful with these events, because a lot of times you'll notice with these events is that you don't necessarily need too much sustain. You don't need too much defense because they're going to hit you hard regardless. But when it comes to you attacking, you need to be able to put on the damage, like no matter what. So look, we'll go ahead and look at these death buffs again, just to kind of just go over like why I think he's so good. So when he dies, he gives a 30% buff to strike damage. He gives a 35% buff to key recovery. He does increase the arts card draw speed. And he gives a 15% damage inflicted to tag future. So that Trunks is really thriving off of this guy. So that's going to go ahead and wrap up the video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this guide helps. If you have any questions or any other comments, go ahead and just drop them below. That's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Later.